All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders of GMS for showing me this great truth. And shalom and salutations to my brothers on the four corners pumping out this truth with sincerity, long-suffering, and longevity. All right. About to prophesy the downfall of America and the upliftment of the Negroes, Latins, and the Native American and the Native Indians. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 5. O Assyrians, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. Who's the hypocritical nation? A hypocritical nation is a land of hypocrites. It's a nation of hypocrites. Who's the nation of hypocrites? America. America is the nation of hypocrites. How is it not the nation of hypocrites? Do they not have actors? You know what an actor is? The Magna Carta, if you understand what that is, it means a great actor, a hypocrite. Somebody who's portraying to be something that they're not. Alright? This is Isaiah 6 and 10. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire in the streets. To tread them down like the mire in the streets is when those MRAPs come, and those tanks come, and they're going to come here in this hood, and what they're going to do is, they're going to go door to door, house to house. And when they have door to door, house to house, all those that run against them, you will be shot by the M16, or you might actually get the privilege of getting shot by one of those 50 calibers that's on their MRAPs. Alright? The Most High gave them that power to tread down the Israelites, because 2/3 of the Israelites are wicked. And that's you so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans. 2/3 of you motherfuckers is wicked as hell. And the Most High is going to get rid of you by the rod of his indignation. The rod of his indignation is your martial law. Go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house rifled. Now, when your house is being rifled, it means that your house is going to be invaded. And the women ravished. The women being ravished is being raped forcibly. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. The half of the city is what he's talking about. And going forth into captivity is you 2/3 Negroes. The rest of the nations also, but it's mainly about you 2/3 Negroes, Latins, and Native Americans. Zechariah chapter 14 and 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravaged, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. When those MRAPs and everything come, that signifies the true Hebrew Israelites to get our power back. And then the rest of the world will see. The regular Negroes versus a Hebrew Israelite. The regular Latin versus a Hebrew Israelite who represents his biblical name of Aparim, which is Ephraim, which is the Puerto Rican. Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Against Jerusalem is coming up against the prophets of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. He's not actually talking about the land of Jerusalem. He's talking about the people. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. That means that when those bombs or ICBM missiles drop and hit, you're going to be standing where the places you're standing, and your flesh will start melting off of your bones. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. That means the eyes that's in your socket is going to melt in the hole of your skull. And their tongue shall be consumed away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, shall be among them. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Neighbor against neighbor is what? That is your race wars. That is when the Negroes are going to fight against the whites, who are the Caucasians, who are the so-called, who are the Edomites, and the East Indians will fight also with the Latins, with the native Indians, with the Moabite nation, which are the Chinese. Zechariah 14:14. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. Go to Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. And that is what I'm doing today. I am standing upon the watch, and I'm telling you guys because I am on the tower of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, whether you hear or forbear, whether you understand or not. The Most High don't care if you understand or not. He only wants 144,000 and 1/3 of the children of Israel. All other people and all other nations will die here on the earth. And those that the elite that goes up into the heavens, which everyone calls space, the heavens will also be burned, and he will bring you down to the lowest of hell. Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. At the time, Slakia, at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. And that was talking about in 1999 that we thought that the Messiah, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, was going to come. That is what this scripture is saying. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, because it didn't come at the year 1999, it tarried. Wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. And it surely come when? In this year, 2014. 2014, 2015, that is when the United States, you will see the difference of all the preparation of Obama. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Now faith comes by hearing, hearing of the word of the Most High, but hearing it in spirit and in truth. Not hearing it just because, oh, I'm just hearing it and I'm just reciting it like those churches. Those churches, all they do is recite words. They don't go into the word. They don't break down the scriptures. Neither do they even understand this scripture, which is an easy scripture to understand once you're learned. The scripture I always like to go into, a scripture I always like to bash those stupid ass pastors with. This is John, St. John chapter 3, verse 16. For the Most High so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For the Most High sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Now, the dumbass pastor said the world is talking about everybody in the earth. But the pastors don't understand Greek. Neither do they understand ancient Hebrew. And the word for world in ancient, in Greek, the word that they used was cosmos. Cosmos means a system or a group of people. The word oikos means the entire earth. But this is not oikos. This is cosmos. Therefore, it's talking about a system. And who did he give his system to? The Israelites. That is you Negroes, you Latins, and you Native Americans. That's who he gave his system to. That's who the Most High came to redeem and to save. The Negroes, the Latins, and the Native Americans. No other nation has he known but you. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he has done. And there is no respect of persons. And that's why the Most High said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Now who led us into captivity? Our brother, our older brother Esau. Who are the so-called white people. And I say so-called because if you look at them, if you look at white snow and then look at them, you can see that they're not fucking white. Just like if you see something black and you see my skin, you can see I'm not fucking black. But I am as the ground. That's why King Solomon said, don't look upon me because I am black. Don't look upon me because I am dark-skinned. He used the word fadar, which means dark-skinned in ancient Hebrew. We are not black. We are Hebrew Israelites. We come out of the man of Shem, not Ham. The Africans, let me phrase that, the so-called Africans come out of Ham. We come out of Shem. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 16. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they him to anger. What is your strange god? Going into those churches. Because if you go into those churches, you're going to represent and worship Baal-Berith. Baal-Berith is a community god. So if you go to a community church, you are worshiping the community god. You are provoking the Most High to anger. With abominations provoke they him to anger. The abominations. What are the abominations? That's my people, the Israelites, eating pork. That's an abomination. Actually, that's an unclean animal. And eating shrimp. Eating catfish. The only things that we eat in the sea has to have fins and scales. Therefore, it is clean unto us. Not for the whole world, but unto us. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 17. They sacrifice unto devils, and not to the Most High, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. And who are these new gods? These new gods is your money. These new gods is your video games, your phone, anything that you will put above Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shah. The moon, the stars, the sun. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them. From who? From the Israelites. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy. This is verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanity. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. Now, who's not a people? The so-called white man. Why is he not a people? For the simple fact that he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Therefore, he has no soul. Therefore, he's not a people. And I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Who's the foolish nation? You so-called white people. The nation of America. Everybody who conspires into the American dream and that bullshit. You have been fooled. The Most High sent a lie to you and you believed it. Instead of persevering and being prudent, you just believe whatever you were given. This is Psalms chapter 97, verse 10. Ye that love the Lord, Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. What is the hand of the wicked? That is when those martial law comes down, you will see the Israelites being saved, and you will see yourselves being raped or being killed. Which is the words of the Most High. The Most High does not love everybody. He only loves Israel. And not the land Israel, but the people, the real Israelites. Not those so-called Jews. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. Now this is what the churches do. Wherefore the Lord, Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, said, for as much as this people draw not, For as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. The precept of men is not teaching you the fear of the Most High. The precept of men is teaching you that God is love, and that's all He is. He's just love. That's it. When the Most High says, I'm not just love, I also hate things too. And if you're my people, you will love and hate. Hate and love. You need them both. In order for you to understand true righteousness, you must understand true wickedness. But in order for the Israelites to understand what righteousness, true righteousness is the reason why we're here now, suffering and being in a wicked land. Therefore, we're suffering true wickedness. And you 2/3 Negroes, Latins, and Americans, and Native American Indians, you guys are going to suffer worse. You will eat your babies again. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do marvelous works among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? Who shall know and seek us? Surely your things, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's slave. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding? And that's what you so-called Negroes, but mostly you white people do that, man. Mostly you fucking white people do that shit. But it's gotten my brethren, so-called Negroes, Latins, and Native Indians, they got you guys believing in the change of time. Believing that the new year starts in fucking January. In the middle of fucking winter. That's changing the time. That's changing the ordinance. In fact, let me get that account. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the law, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. That's the reason why your grapes are so fucking small. Grapes used to be the size of a basketball when we was in our kingdom. Look how small your grapes are now. And they're not even real. Grapes are supposed to have seeds. Why don't your grapes and your fruits have seeds? Because they're changing everything. And not for the better. They're changing it to kill you, like the chemtrails that they put in the air. They put them in there to kill off you Israelites. Like HIV, the diseases. That was created. The Most High gave the Edomites and all the other nations the ability to create these viruses to kill off the Israelites.